Hey there, Philos here. This video is going to be on a new Demon Hunter build for patch 2.3, Lightning Natalya, and it's basically just a variation of the old Rain of Vengeance Fire Stampede build, which still works and you can do decent with it, but this one is new and is more fun and interesting, so you can see in the gameplay here, the idea is to kind of pull the rift forward and drag more monsters into more monsters, just keep creating density by kiting forward rather than knocking monsters back. And the reason this is working well now is because of the changes to the greater rift tuning. Monsters deal less damage and rift guardians have significantly less health, as well as it takes more progression to actually spawn the guardian. So the rift clear is much more important now, so the damage, area damage from the shade, lightning rune here is doing really well. And you're able to kind of heal through damage, so you're able to play more aggressive and kind of overextend a lot. And I'm preferring this gameplay a lot more, mostly just because it's new and fresh, but it's doing really well, so it's a nice alternative to the standard fire setup. And the build is built around the Natalya set here, cooldown reduction and the damage to the Rain of Vengeance, as well as the Crashing Rain belt for the single target damage. So let's jump into the spec. We have the Rain of Vengeance Shade for the area damage, Drifting Shadow Strafe for the cooldown reduction on the rain and the mobility, Smokescreen Displacement for the survivability as well as mobility, Wolf for the damage, Preparation Focus Mind for the regen, Evasive Fire Focus for the cooldown reduction and hatred generation, Ambush for the damage. As I mentioned, the Leech passive is doing well for the healing. With the nerfs to the damage that the monsters are doing, you're able to kind of heal through the damage. Awareness for the cheat death, and then Perfectionist also added value for the survivability. I'm running Call of the Week on my Hellfire. If I didn't have that, I would drop Perfectionist for Call of the Week. The damage is going to be more important than the toughness and healing, but you can kind of take advantage of both. So that's the spec. Now we can talk about the cube powers that I'm using. Currently I'm running the Fulminator, the Hexing Pants, and the Unity, and there is some flexibility here. A lot of people run the Thunder Fury. I'm using the Thunder Fury on my follower to get the slow, and that's doing pretty well. If you have a properly itemized follower, you're going to get good uptime from that. But the damage from this is nice. I did notice it procs quite a lot, and it's doing a lot of damage because it's modified by the Natalya bonus, so it's just taking for hundreds of millions of supplemental damage and good density. You're going to get good value from that, so I've been liking that. Hexing Pants for the damage and resources, Unity for the damage reduction. This one you could potentially itemize for more toughness and run the Convention of Elements for the damage. Now we can talk about the itemization and the stat priority. It's pretty much the same as it was last patch. You want to get your cooldown reduction. I'm running a 3-to-1 with this setup. So my cooldown reduction is at 46. I have 10 on each weapon, and then 8 on my gloves, 8 on my shoulders. Paragon points in the helm and get you to a 3-to-1. You could potentially run a 2-to-1. Most of the time the 3-to-1 is generally preferred. So after those cooldown rolls, you basically just want to stack your crit chance, crit damage, and Rain of Vengeance modifiers. And I'm preferring Vitality in every slot that you can, so on the chest, I'm going with the Vitality instead of the Hatred regen, the helmet, Vitality instead of Strafe. You know, just try to get as much toughness as you can, where you're going to have to get it anyways. So there's nothing else that's really going to give you value on these slots. And then on the offhand, I'm actually going with the Vitality. Now that could be something else. I'm just kind of working with what I have here. You could very well go with elite damage on the offhand. It's going to be really nice. The jewelry, standard rolls, average damage, dual crit, bracers. I'm using the Wraps of Clarity for the damage reduction. Standard rolls, lightning damage. And then the Hellfire Amulet, you would like it to have elemental damage over dexterity, but A Hellfire with a good passive is going to be about the same as a regular neck with elemental damage, so you can go either way on that one. If you are planning on taking advantage of the leech passive, it is important to note where you're able to get life per kill, because you are getting life per hit from life per kill, 75% of it. So you're going to want to take advantage of your secondary rolls to get this life per kill. And the slots that you can get life per kill on are your jewelry, your pants, your belt, your weapons can actually get it, and then your chest. So like the necklace is going to be really hard to get one. The Dream Hellfire, you could get life per kill potentially. The easy slots to get it on are going to be like the belt, pants, and jewelry. Rings. The weapon is questionable, whether you would want the discipline or the life per kill. Kind of depends on how you're building, could go either way. Now for the legendary gems. These are pretty standard. We have the Bane of the Trapped, the Zay Stone of Vengeance, and then the Bane of the Stricken here, which the value of this is still kind of questionable. The Rift Guardians were nerfed, so they have significantly less health already, and you know, this build in particular, you're kind of just pulling lots of monsters, so single target damage isn't exactly something that you end up needing. You just kind of just keep dragging into more, and everything kind of dies eventually. But it is decent value for the single target when you're doing progression. Other gems that you could potentially run if you're not doing really high grader rifts are the Teguk and the Bane of the Powerful. Those are both going to be pretty good with this build. Now for the Paragon points. Pretty standard stuff here. You get your movement speed to 25 if you have some on your loot, and then dump it all into dexterity. Cooldown reduction, you obviously need that to get to the 46, and then crit modifier is attack speed only to get you to your breakpoint if you need it. 1.88 attacks per second, which is just a couple points into there. When you're doing progression, you're going to want to make sure you have that. Bottom to top, skipping life per second. And then resource reduction. Life on hit is decent now, and area damage is actually better than it was. So these are all kind of doing better, but the resource reduction is going to be the most important here, as per usual. So not much really changing on that front. That's it for this video. Hope this helps and you guys enjoy the build. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.